All right, so I just got back from watching One of Them Days, the latest comedy from Sony. It is about two roommates living in Los Angeles who are behind on the rent, and so they have less than 24 hours to get the money for the rent, while one of them also has an important job interview later on in the day as well. So they got that to worry about as well. So. This movie stars Kiki Palmer and SZA, I believe that's how you say her name, as the two roommates. And I think they did a very good job. They're both very funny. I had seen Kiki Palmer in a couple things before. This is my first time I've ever seen SZA in anything that I know of. She might have done some animated roles that I wasn't aware of. I don't know. But they both got great comedy chops. And what I appreciated most about them is that they have clearly been best friends for a while. Their characters in the movie, and you could tell they have a back and forth that seems very genuine and was very believable. So whenever they're yelling at each other, it didn't seem too overboard, and when they started to be nice to each other, that also didn't seem too schmaltzy either. This might be too in ballpark for some people, but strangely enough, it reminded me a lot of their dynamic, reminded me a lot of the dynamic of Asterix and Obelix. Anybody who's read the Asterix comics, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it's basically there's a shrewd one and a dumb one. And in this movie, that's an oversimplification of how they are. But, you know, one of them is more, not street smart, but more level-headed than the other. The other one is a bit more spur of the moment, and because of that, you have some great comedy that plays off of each other. And the movie was, I won't say it was funnier than I thought it would be, because the trailer was pretty funny, and the movie is about as funny as the trailer. I will say the best jokes are in the trailer, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other jokes that are as good as the jokes in the trailer. So if you see the trailer and you're like, this is probably the best part of the movie, you might be right, but in my opinion, there are other funny moments in the movie that are just as funny. Not funnier, but just as funny as the stuff we saw in the trailer. And what I do appreciate is that the jokes in the trailer are not exactly the same as the jokes in the movie. They do play off a little bit better. One in particular was a scene where the characters, they have to go and get a loan, and that entire scene is a lot funnier than I thought it would be, judging by the trailer. Another one was when they have to go give blood to get some money. That one was also really funny. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I enjoyed it more than I thought it would. It had the right amount of heart where it didn't feel too cheesy, but it wasn't just jokes all the time. This movie does actually have something to say. Even if it's not super deep, it, you know, has a message, which I appreciated. It was a good message. So yeah, I will say it's definitely not a movie to take your kids to. There are a couple jokes here that are, how do I put it, lowest common denominator. Nothing as bad as I've seen or heard of in other movies, but it's definitely there. Definitely for an adult audience, especially that giving blood scene is a little, especially if you're squeamish, you might not like that scene very much. But yeah, all in all, I don't think I'd ever watch it again. It's not something that I'm itching to own myself or go buy, but I'm definitely not mad I saw it. So if Wolfman isn't quite doing it for you, and you want something a bit more lighthearted, and you're not afraid of, you know, certain squeamish jokes and lowbrow humor, I guess, here and there, then One of Them Days, currently playing in theaters. You can go ahead and check it out.